Okay, so one of the reasons that people end up with takeout or, even sitting in their car an extra half hour waiting and waiting online just to pick up some fast food, for example, is because people feel that's more convenient. Convenient. Is it possible to have, let's say, a low income or struggle time or whatever you want to call it, low spend is the greater way to say it, low spend meals that are convenient at the same time? I believe the answer to that is yes. And we're going to talk about this on this We Can Do It Wednesday. Be right back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, this is Jan. Welcome to the Save Money and More with Jan channel. How you doing today? Hope that everybody's doing well. It's that time of the month for many people. Start, like winding down, waiting for their check to come in. Since 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, we know all too well how that feeling is right before you get paid. All right. But a little planning ahead makes a big difference. But not only that, planning ahead, but to make simple meals because that's what people strive for. A lot of people get tired. We work hard all day. And at the end of the day, we're like, This is one of the reasons I personally believe in doing a lot of make ahead meals when I have the time, pop them in the freezer, and voila, just take it out of the freezer and heat it up. All right. But if that didn't happen, for whatever the reason, let's talk about this. So I'm going to give you 7 struggle time meals, but easy meals to make. All right. 1, anything with pasta, a pasta meal, pasta or rice. Okay. That's going to be the star of the show. It yields a lot. It costs very little. It fills up. Add protein, whatever that favorite protein may be. Could be meat, could be tofu, could be vegetables, whatever it is. Blend them together. Not blend them, but put them together. I don't want you to think you need a blender. Put them together, and then you got yourself stretchy meals, a lot of it too. Next, this canned roast beef, I am totally in love with. I mentioned it on previous videos. Oh my word, so good. Very cost effective for about $3 for beef that is tender, that tastes like brisket, that is on the style of if you, let's say, let's say you get some roast beef, excuse me. Let's say that you get some stew meat and you put that in your slow cooker and you let it cook for hours, the texture of the meat gets just like that, just falls apart. So for $3, you could take that, you could buy that, put a bunch of them in your stockpile, have it handy. And for those nights, you could add the canned roast beef over egg noodles and make your own beef gravy. If you have some beef bouillon, flour, a fat, put it together. You could even utilize the juice of the beef that comes in that roast beef can as part of the gravy and thicken it up with a little bit of cornstarch, a little bit of salt and pepper. Yum! And put that over egg noodles, filling, delicious, and it stretches. And not only that, you're not taking forever to cook it. All right, let me just pull this over. Getting my tape here. What happened there? How weird. The paper tore right in half as I turned the page. Right. A lot of people like to use flour tortillas, those that know how to make them. You know it yourself. You can make a lot of different wraps. You can put inexpensive ingredients in those. For those that like have trouble making it or messes up your kitchen, when times are better, buy yourself a bag of already floured or corn tortillas, put it away for such times in the month, and just enter inexpensive ingredients as your wrap. And it's delicious, it's fun, and it's fast when you have the pre-made. The pre-made are really, really good. Next, this is something I like to do. At the beginning of the month, I like to make baked ziti, a whole bunch of it. But what I do is I enter some beef crumbles or I add some vegetables. I layer it as if a lasagna. I get a whole big 13 buy 9 tray out of it, and I make smaller single serves so that I just treat it as if a lasagna, but it's baked ziti, so much faster and easier. You could add your own thing if you like to, if you buy ricotta cheese, if it's on sale, if that's what you like, if you prefer. Some people prefer cottage cheese with it. Whatever it is that you like, and you add your little layer of tomato sauce and shredded cheese. If you buy the block cheese, you could shred your own cheese for a fraction of the cost of the bag cheese. And by the way, it tastes a lot better. So make that up. That's one of the things to consider to make up ahead of time and freeze it up. Oh, it comes in so handy. It really, really does. And using beef crumbles is a lot easier than making, meatballs and stuff like that. Not that we don't love meatballs. And you could always make meatballs at the better time of the month, if you will, and put them in the freezer and just add that to your baked ziti. So inexpensive. Scalloped potatoes. Now, a lot of people have scalloped potatoes as their side dish, but honestly, scalloped potatoes can be very, very filling. Now, sometimes they sell them in a box. You could do it that way, or you can make them up from scratch and treat it as the main course meal. Make them cheesy enough. You got yourself some cheesy scalloped potatoes, so filling, so delicious, so yummy. Next, tuna salad, but change it up. Like, don't just have regular tuna salad as a sandwich. Make it as a pasta salad. What I love about that is you can make it ahead of time in the morning. Hello, wrap it up, put it in your refrigerator, let it sit, let the flavors marry, whatever. And maybe you want to put, let's say, a teaspoon or two of Italian dressing when you come back home to eat it. Add it to the existing salad. It just revives it even more, gives it a little more flavor. It's really, really, really quite good. Extremely inexpensive. It's friendly to make all year long. And especially as the weather gets warmer, a pasta salad is a great thing to have. And they're not expensive. Next, deviled eggs with bacon. I mean, if you know how to boil an egg, you got yourself deviled eggs. Doesn't take much fancy schmancy. Boil up your hard boiled eggs, let them cool down, hollow out the inside, mush up the yellow part of the egg with your favorite ingredients. Some people use a little mayonnaise, some people use a little bit of Italian dressing. I like the mayonnaise with paprika and some bacon crumbles on the top. So it's kind of like having a fancier way of eating bacon and eggs, but at your disposal, because you can make this ahead of time. What I like to do is have that, and on the side, I'd like to have an easy peasy canned chickpea salad, the easiest thing in the world on planet Earth. Drain it out. I make this ahead of time. Drain out the chickpeas, put some Italian dressing on it, is the way I like it. And chopped up onion, and you could put a little bit of fresh parsley if you wish. Put that away. Yeah, mix it up. Put that away. Let the flavors marry. You got your pre-done salad, and you have your deviled eggs. All you need is a paper plate. And can I tell you something? Cleanup could not be easier. And next, finally, keep a comfort food at hand, a comfort dish like meatloaf. Now, if you don't like the idea of having to cook a meatloaf at the end of the day, but meatloafs are easy to make. But this is my opinion. Everybody's different. You could do a meatloaf in a slow cooker if you want. I don't know if you know that, but I could try to find a video that shows you that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could do a meatloaf in a slow cooker for those extremely busy days. But the idea of a meatloaf during like that struggly time of the month, comfort, meatloaf with some instant mashed potatoes on the side. The way they do these instant mashed potatoes in the pouch, you don't even need to add butter. You don't even need to add any other ingredient. So actually, it could be very cost effective. Don't these things sound a lot more appetizing than the same old fast food, same old predictable? I mean, don't get me wrong. I consider fast food a treat, and to be honest with you, the last time I ever even stepped foot to buy anything in a fast food restaurant, you don't want to know. We're talking about years. Years. I just prefer my own food put together, but that's me. But especially, these days, fast food is not cheap food, just for the record. Maybe at one time, if you could take advantage, they do have some advertise specials like that, but then they get you sometimes on the drink or on the dessert or whatever it is. Hey, if you could just get the advertised cheaper version and deal with that if you really, really, really don't want to cook. But I tried to outline some very easy peasy budget stretchers, low spend, and easy to make meals here. It's up to us. We could sit around and complain, or we could plan ahead. It's amazing what a little bit of timing, good timing, a little bit of planning ahead can do. Don't make the end of the month a struggle, especially when we think ahead.